evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 46th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. And as you can see, I'm by myself tonight because Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports is sick due to a stomach virus and a fever, but he should be back next week. That is for sure, but we wish for him to get the film better as soon as possible because he is a go-to on the world of college football, Alabama football, and a great friend to not just myself, but to all of you as well. So we wish him nothing but awesomeness, and we wish for him to get the film better. But I do know of a way that can really help him get the film better. I'm telling everybody, telling all of you about the YouTube tiers of Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Now let's tell all of you about what's going on all right here, shall we? For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, and in return, you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and the live chat. And you'll get a custom emoji in the comments and in the live chat, and you get a member shout out. Particularly, for example, like our good buddy Godfather of the SEC and numerous others. And for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll get priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout just by becoming a Saban Disciple, where you'll get a hangout session with yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey, and Only Talk Sports, and Coach Smoot. And for $9.99 a month, you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind just by becoming a Bear Bryant legend. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor miserable Bama weather will put a stop to us from fulfilling your content request on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And speaking of the Godfather of the SEC, we've got our first caller of the night. We've got the Godfather of the SEC. Love the hat, man. Love it.
What's happening, Double J?
Oh, nothing much. Just chilling out and get ready for another Thursday night.
I hope Jeffrey's doing all right in this hurricane.
Yeah, we hope he's getting the film better, but he should heal up nicely. He's young.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Well, we got some big news today, didn't we? 9 games
Oh
in
God.
conference.
9 conference games, and it's just like, good grief. Like, wow. Oh man, it's like, I know like Auburn, Tennessee's obviously are annual opponents, and they're gonna have LSU as their annual opponent. Like, me personally, I don't care, but you might feel differently about it. That's okay. But I don't know, it just kind of feels like the 9-game conference schedule that's gonna like kill the big non-con games. It's gonna kill it off in a way.
Well, yeah, who do you put in there? We know we're going, you want to keep the third, Saturday in October. And of course, you want to keep the biggest rivalry you got in the in state is Auburn. But who do you slip in as that third team? LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt? Who are those?
Mississippi State or Ole Miss.
I mean, you got to kind of make it light on yourself. I'd go after a little lighter team. I guess you're gonna have to have three teams. All teams are gonna get, I reckon, 3 teams to try to keep the rivalries going. So I mean, I don't know if you drop LSU, you slip Georgia in instead of LSU. A lot of people say they want to play Georgia every year. Well, that's kind of we played Tennessee for years. We played Auburn for years. I don't know. I guess we'll see come 2026. I guess when if we're still here. But I would say my 3 picks would be, of course, Tennessee and Auburn. I guess you'd probably have to keep the LSU game since it's been so historic down at Baton Rouge, and at nighttime, and we played so many epic games. Who would you slip in there? Who would be your 3? Who would it be?
Thought about it. I guess I could just have Mississippi State as that third opponent, honestly, because we got a little more history with them than LSU, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about that, and Alabama said they might might not keep LSU. Since Auburn's what AWOL and won 7 national championships in one day, uh, I don't know what's going on down there at the Cal College. I've been sitting wondering about it quite a bit. I think they eating too many mushrooms out there out of that cow dung. I mean, you got athletic director Mr. Cohen. That's what I'll call him. He's supposed to have a doctorate degree for. I think that's correct, but I know he's got a college education. You're going to go back to 1910, 1913, 1914. The NCAA didn't even exist back then. If you remember, it was called the IAAUS. That was called Intercollegiate Athletic Association. They left out the O. It's supposed to have been of the United States, but they left out the O, so that's why you got the IAAUS. And then it became the NCAA. So, 13, 14, that was Mike Donahue. I mean, how do you want to think the way back then? But 57, 58, I mean, they got, they got a legitimate argument, I guess, there in 57. 58, I mean, 90, 83, Miami, uh, 93, they were on great big time probation. That was the Mike Ramsey scandal, if everybody remembers it, in 93. Terry Bowden was coach, if I'm not mistaken. 2004 was our lovely Senator Tommy Tuberville. Uh, you know, I don't know. I don't know how the NCAA really. Well, they want to claim Alabama's done it. Well, if Auburn really wants us to claim some stuff, we claim 66, 64, 65, 66. That's a three-peat. 76.
1977. That's a good one because, like, we beat Ole Miss. Notre Dame didn't.
Right. 70,
So
78, and 79. There's another three-peat. There's two three-peats, and they're going to add three more titles to your name. We've got 21 national championships. They say Alabama has 30 SEC championships. Okay, Coach Bryant won 4, what they called the Southern Conference. Back then, Southern Conference League, I believe, is what they put on the end of that. And there's 4 of those, so they don't really. Alabama's actually won 34. We'll just claim those and put them under the SEC banner. I think Auburn claimed 2 or 3 SEC titles. I didn't even look at that. I didn't even want to look at it. I don't know how the hell you claim 2 or 3 SEC titles. I mean, they're playing with fire. I mean, nobody's ever three-peated. Well, Alabama's got 2 three-peats. You throw Minnesota, the Beavers out. They only had 1. That's back in 1903, somewhere back in there. So, I mean, that's what Alabama ought to do. They ought to fly the flag, 77, 66, and maybe 45. I'm like you. Maybe they could throw 45 in there too.
I mean, we were literally unbeaten in 1945 because it's like you would think we'd be considered. We would be like, you know what? We can claim 1945 as our national championship.
I don't know really what's happened. I don't know what Auburn was thinking. It's really not a good look. Uh, and I don't think Alabama's going to claim. A lot of people claim the 66 title, and a lot of those guys are gone. Some of them are still alive. The majority of them have passed away. The coaches, players, we got a few still alive, but I don't think Alabama. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Auburn's thinking. I mean, it just didn't make
They
any
got to
sense.
get people talking somehow.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and Free says he's going to run going to play all 3 quarterbacks next Friday night against. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, how you going to do the play calling? I mean, if Baylor comes out there and beats him, them banners ain't going to look too good next week hanging up in Pat Diarrhea Field down there. I mean, excuse me, Pat Dye Stadium.
Well, I mean, they can love on that 1910 banner. I mean, oh, you got a national title before Arizona and New Mexico became U.S. states. Okay.
I'm lost.
Oh my god,
Lost.
it's just too funny.
I'm lost. I mean, it's just. I guess they got a booster program somehow. I guess just put them on out of the SEC if they're gonna act that crazy, and put them in put them in the ACC. Give us Clemson and take Auburn to the ACC. Forget, excuse me, forget about. Forget about playing them anymore. Just don't play them anymore, and that revenue won't generate anymore. Send them up there in the ACC and bring us Clemson or Florida State one, and then we just get rid of them. Then go up there and claim 13, 14, 15 more than one. I guess I don't know. I mean,
It's like,
I can't. I can't stand that place. I never. I don't agree with what Harvey Updike done. Mr. Updike done. He's passed away. Mister is what a lot of people call him. Mr. Updike done to the trees. I don't. Real Alabama fans don't do that. We the Kentucky Derby crowd.
oh
We don't.
yeah,
Well, you got to have class. You don't go down there and do stupid stuff like that because that don't look good. That don't look good on the fans. It don't look good on the university. It don't look good anywhere. I've heard a lot of people praise that man. Well, I can't put him in that category. I'm sorry. That was about
it's
a
a
that was about a stupid move, and that just made Alabama look bad. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess the NCAA. I don't see anything where the NCAA put a statement out about these national championships they claim. Have you seen anything? Did I overlook it? Has anything been put out from the
no.
NCAA?
NCAA's doing nothing. I think they're just kind of like, we don't care about 1910.
I mean, I guess they can go buy some. They don't have the trophies either. I guess they can go have somebody make them some trophies up and put them up down there somewhere. I got plenty of money. I'm sure they can get that.
Just another L for Auburn. Like, take that L. Take those L's, son. Take those L's. You're claiming 1910 as a natty, and you're all about morality by trying to get Brian Harsin fired because you think he's flirting around with some skirt in the school office. Like, no. And then you're like, nah, okay, that didn't work. So we're reluctantly keeping you for 2022. But then you hire a guy that was screwing around with hookers on the school payphone because he beat Bama. He beat Bama.
I think it was on the school phone they called him on too. I think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, the school payphone.
Yeah,
So
whatever it was. I
take
mean,
that L.
and
Take
then
that L, Auburn.
exactly, and then he got up, I think, at media days and said, "Well, I should have beat Coach Saban 4 times." I said, "Well, if in one hand and poop in the other one, see which one fills up the quickest." I guess. I mean, that's what Auburn sort of based, I think, that hire on. It's what he done against Nick. I don't think they were expecting Nick to pull the plug as quick as he did, which it doesn't matter to me. Freeze wasn't going to beat him anyway. He's kind of. I mean, you look at the Auburn program now. I don't know. I mean, they'll probably beat somebody they not supposed to beat this year. They're good at that. They always have been. I can call out a lot of different wins. I remember them. They shouldn't have won, but they did. But I don't see anything of any kind of talent at Auburn contending for a national championship in the near future anywhere. Uh, well, they've never contended for that many. I'll give them 2010. And I heard a guy, I'm not going to call his name, but I listen to him every now and then. He said the best SEC player he'd ever saw play in the SEC was Cam Newton. I started to ask him, when were you born? Cam Newton was the best athlete in the SEC you'd ever saw play football. I thought, well, it was good. Sure, he was. Well, he carried that whole team on his shoulders, is what he said. Well, he might have carried that team on his shoulders. But I was at the ball game where we fumbled it back through the end. We had them beat at halftime 24-0, wasn't it?
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah. And we just
Point.
came out flat in the second half and didn't do anything. Alabama couldn't move the ball, period.
That was the last time Auburn beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and they've not done so since.
Yeah. I mean,
So
the damnedest of the luck, the ball just rolls. I watched it; it rolled right down the line and rolled right out of the back of the end zone. Any other time, that would have never happened. It was just a
yeah.
perfect roll right down the sideline, right out the end zone. But I mean, crap happens. But I mean, I don't know, but I guess we'll get some more crazy stuff from Auburn before the. It's surprising me, they let that eagle fly before the games down there. Them snuff dipping overall wearing fools down there. It surprised me they ain't got one of the Remington shotguns out and done shot that bird down there.
uh,
But if you want to watch a ball game, Alabama and Auburn, it's at Auburn. Don't go to Auburn. I'm telling you, you better have on a shirt like this. They ain't got nothing on it.
Nope.
No, New Year's neutral is you just got drugged down here in this mess. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, one of them guys pull out the Remington shotgun and shoot the eagle out of the sky. That's what I'm looking for next time in Auburn. But anyway, well, maybe Jeffrey will get to feeling better. I hope he gets to feeling better and he gets back next week sometime. And
Absolutely, man.
yeah, Jeffrey and I don't know. I watched. Was y'all gonna have a show before this one, or did y'all get the dates wrong? Was it supposed?
Oh, we were, but we didn't get enough hosts tonight because we were going to do like a breaking news live stream on each of the team channels for the SEC going to 9 games. But oh, no worries. We're going to get to Caden's super chat. And it's for the $5 super chat. We appreciate the contribution. And it's something, it's a message to you, Godfather. And he says, Godfather, don't write checks with your mouth that your ass can't cash. Like, I don't know what that meant, but I'm just reading it as is. But Caden, we appreciate the $5 super chat contribution, good buddy, as it really helps the show keep on rolling and keep on ticking.
I may have to fill in here and take Jeffrey's spot tonight. Keep his cat calm down. We may, we may have to put up the TVMA. Mark may run us all off for the night's over. I don't know. I mean, Caden, I don't know. I worry about him. I think he's been around too much that diesel smoke, and it's fried his brain. Is what it's done. And he may be part of that Auburn crowd. I don't know the way he's acting. I believe he is part of that Pat Dye crowd. I met Coach Dye. I mean, we used to be on the Firebomb show. I don't know if you remember it or not. He used to come on there once a week. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Hell, he was so damn drunk he couldn't. Him and Paul would get into it, and Paul would run him off, and then he'd get him back in 2 or 3 weeks, and Coach Dyed be so drunk again. I mean, it was just like the Tom and Jerry show. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, he would be so zonky he couldn't even talk, and oh, it was funny. It was better than Phyllis or what was that old guy? What was that old guy from down there at Rio Town? What was his name?
Oh, man, it's been a minute.
Charles from Rio Town.
Oh,
Charles.
yeah.
Charles, and then you got Jim, and then the other guy passed away. What was his name? It passed away here recently. There, I can't think of his name either. But anyway, yeah, it was, and then you had Tammy. I mean, we used to stop. We worked down there at the power plant at West Jefferson, not West Jefferson, but Wilsonville, Harpersville, what the little old name of the town is. And we used to go in the store there and buy every evening, get her drink stuff when we go home. And Tammy worked at the cashier. She was a cashier in that store, just right there, right on down below where the power plant was. There we had five units down there, coal fire plants where we worked at through Alabama Power Southern Company. And she was a card now. There was no doubt about it. I hate to see when she passed away and got, in that terrible car accident. But she was a true blue Auburn fan. There's no doubt about it. We'd have them Alabama shirts on, and she didn't like it with it. She hated it worse than I hate Auburn.
Man, those calls, they were hilarious. Like, I always get a laugh out of those Tammy calls.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. I'll get off here and let you deal with Caden. So he's waiting. He's telling him to come on. We got to make sure he's all right tonight. He ain't huffed too much diesel fuel, and if he's gonna drive a diesel truck, tell him to drive a 7.3 Power Stroke diesel truck. 7.3 International Harvester, the best motor that was ever made by Ford Motor Company. An International Harvester was a 7.3 Power Stroke diesel.
Will do, man. Will do.
Tell him, man, stay,
Oh, man.
stay away from the Auburn crowd. Auburn, I hate you. I hate everything down there. I don't.
Take that L, Auburn. Take that L.
Look at this hat. Look, it's just got a rim on it. Coach Bryant didn't have no rim. See, I love y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. Y'all be safe, Jackson. Be safe.
You too, Godfather. Stay safe, stay cool, man. And that was Godfather of the SEC. And up next, we have Kane the Diesel Freak. And after that, we will have Zachary Wilges. And remember, we are doing 8 minutes a call. Your 8 minutes start now, Caden. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Yeah, Godfather. Yeah, I actually drive a 7.3 International F350, but it's not at my house right now. It's back in my buddy's shop. But I also drive an F350 with an International DT 360 six-cylinder engine in it. So, and yeah, that thing's cranked up a little bit. So I'm gonna warn you, it does scare away the hose. So it's what I like to call the hoe reaper because it scares their souls so badly that I don't even know what the heck happened.
I'll remember that. So what's on your mind tonight, good buddy?
Oh my god! Listen to the Godfather about Alabama. Oh my god, that was just. Oh my god, that hurt my brain so bad. I was like, "You got to be kidding me, Godfather." You okay? So you're the biggest, oldest Alabama fan on this channel. All right, Godfather. Listen, as I said before, don't write checks with your mouth that you can't cash. Well, I'm going to tell you, I've heard your comments regarding this year's Alabama's football team and the schedule. I've been telling y'all for the past couple of months to watch out for Georgia. Because them boys are not going to be playing around this year. And them boys, and like I said last year, or not even last year, last week, I said the rumors about John Gruden being either the defense coordinator or the head coach at Georgia. Just be warned, if he is the head coach at Georgia, let's just say there's gonna be bodies laying all around the SEC, courtesy of John Gruden and the dogs at Georgia.
I don't think like John Gruden being a head coach in college would turn out like you think it will, man. I think it would be more like it. We don't know how it would turn out, but it could be like how the Bill Walsh era turned out in his second stint at Stanford, or how Herm Edwards turned out in Arizona State.
Jackson, you know what? I am literally confident about John Gruden being the head coach of Georgia if they did. And if they did, I know he turned those men into monsters, and those monsters will be tearing everybody limb to limb. And I know there'll be dead bodies lying around the SEC. Oklahoma will be in shreds. Texas will pretty much be barbecued. And y'all down in Tuscaloosa would get your carcasses turned inside out and all your organs ripped out, and pretty much you'd be lying in a pile of your own blood and dog crap. And I was, oh no, elephant crap. And I didn't know that. Y'all
Well,
are laying in a pile of your own blood and everything else and organs. That's an egg fact. Yeah.
I don't
And
think it'll turn out like you think it will. I mean, I think George is obviously happy with Kirby Smart, but that's just me.
they're good with Kirby Smart, but if, like I said, if John Gruden did, he would really turn Georgia into a real powerhouse program. Even make it better with Kirby Smart at his side, even. That's just my 2 cents as a guy whose team has, well, left bodies laying everywhere. Oh, man. Just seeing Michigan getting laid out and all the bodies laying everywhere. Oh my god, it'd be so hilarious. Oh man. And you know what the funny thing is, I was just listening to Burke's troll so much, and I'm like, that guy is so got so much crap up in his skull. Oh my freaking lord. And sorry, this would have been sweeter if Jeffrey was listening, because then I'd be laughing out of my carcass more, but oh well. We'll hopefully
He'll
see.
be filmed there pretty soon, and you could definitely tell Jeffrey all about it, man.
Yeah, and I know Jeffrey's probably somewhere in Florida or Alabama listening to this on a secondary phone or something. Jeffrey, a little word of advice. Just be careful before you rant on Twitter about Alabama and Indiana, because I saw your rants, and yeah, just be careful about ranting about Indiana. because Indiana this year is about to get their carcasses kicked and their insides torn out, and well, Indiana's gonna be laying in a pile of their own blood and dog, courtesy of the Buckeyes, and that's a
They
damn
don't
fact.
have the Buckeyes on their schedule, so that's lucky for Indiana.
Well, if they did, be laying them out in a pile of their own blood and dog up in here. Oh, please, Godfather, cut the BS. Cut the BS, Godfather. Your head is not aching, Godfather. Cut the BS.
Ladies and
Cut.
gentlemen, do we need to have a debate between Caden, the Diesel Freak, and the Godfather, the SEC? Like, we will put out like
Bring
$20 super chat, and we will set it up for next week or the week after.
I want the Godfather right now since he's the one talk. Godfather, get your carcass in here right now.
No.
Godfather, put your carcass in here right now since you want to go. I will cook your carcass right now, and I will give you a preview of 2027 when we cook your carcasses in Columbus, and your bodies are gonna be laid everywhere across Columbus in a pile of your own blood and dog up and down Lane Avenue.
Calm it down there, Brock Lesnar. Calm it down. Calm it down. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
But Godfather, I have abandoned. You get your carcass in here right now. Get your crimson and white carcass in here right now. I know you're gonna get in. Godfather, I am demanding you get in here right now. Since you want to talk, come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on, Godfather. I know you want some. Come on, Godfather. Oh, now Austin wants to talk. Oh, Austin, if you want to get up in here and talk, that's fine. I need get your Louisville loving carcass in here, so I'll cook you like I'll cook the Godfather. I will cook you well done, and I will cover you, and I will cover your carcass in barbecue sauce, and then you'll be feasted on by the big boys of the Big Ten. The big dogs of the Big Ten.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Like
The organs about right now.
Oh my god.
And I've said this before about Jackson, Jeffrey, and Austin. Those three boys are from the Sesame Street factory, which unfortunately the most defective kids came out of the building. Well, unfortunately for me and all my other bros and homies from home here in London and Marysville, Ohio, Jackson, if you're curious, and actually my good buddy, the Grim Reaper, Corey freaking Wimbrick, former star safety of the Fairbanks Panthers, wanted the Alabama Voice of College Football channel is nothing more but full of worthless cowards who came from a defective factory. And Alabama, as far as he's concerned, is a nothing good but overrated pieces of who cannot take the fact that Ohio State's a bigger team than that program and said enough. And that's quoted by Corey Weinbrick, a fellow fan of Ohio State and a hater of the University of Alabama football team.
All right, Caden. All right, Caden. Anything else you got for you before we get to our next caller?
The only thing is go Bucks and let's roll Buckeyes roll. And I'm spitting it in Jackson's face because he knows I'm the only one in here with the balls to tell him to the face. Roll, Buckeyes, roll. And Austin and Godfather.
Okay, bye-bye. All righty. And we got our next caller, Zachary Wilges, on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Jackson?
Doing all right. I just did my best kind of stay in character, but it's hard not to laugh.
I know. I was in the background. I was in the back laughing my butt off at Caden as well because he don't know what he's talking about.
He's always got some funny stuff to say. That's for sure. It's like when you have a hard day, he's always there to give you a good laugh.
Right, but I mean, does he really know how to speak football? I don't think so. And he don't know what he's talking about. Ohio State has their quarterback ain't going to be any good this year. He was what, fifth rated on Alabama, and got pushed out of Alabama because he was too short and didn't have a strong enough arm to compete for the starting job at Alabama. Julian saying, and he's a 5-star talent. Okay, whatever. He came from one of the weakest regions in California high school football. Actually, he came from this. I believe he came from the same region Blake Barnett did, and we all know how that turned out for Blake Barnett. He was a complete bust when it came to college football. So, can Julian be better? Obviously, he's got a lot of talent around him, but I just don't see him carrying this Ohio State team to a national championship this year.
Oh yeah. Well, I am curious to see what's gonna happen with week one. Like, I think it's gonna be a really good week for the Crimson Tide. Because it's like we got some great days ahead of us.
Ohio State's biggest win this season will probably be week one in Texas or when Texas comes to their home stadium, because I'm not that high on Texas defense, because anytime they play a offense that has elite talent around the quarterback, they fall apart. That secondary falls apart. So I mean, they haven't really proven anything to me. For example, Georgia twice last year, because Georgia's secondary was probably the worst secondary that it has been in the history of the Georgia program, and and Georgia shut them out in the first half, and they only let them score in the second half because they felt sorry for Texas, so they let them score a little bit. But other than that, I mean, Texas ain't that good, I don't think. Now, talented, yes, but they haven't proven anything to anybody in the SEC or on a national championship contender level. The last time they won a championship was with Vince Young, and Vince Young was a elite quarterback at that time. In that day and age, and Vince Young beat a very, very talented USC team. So, I mean, I can give Vince Young his flowers because he went out there and proved something against a dangerous team. But since then, Texas hasn't really proven anything to me against elite competition. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Buckeyes throughout the 2025 season. Like, I don't think they're going to repeat, but we'll definitely wait and see. But Alabama's going to be getting really bad. Like, I mean, I hate that we don't have Jam Miller, but at least he's going to be healed up by the time we get to mid-season.
Right. And I even said that I even told Coach this on our channel the other day. I said the only questions I have at running back is the how we use the running backs in the passing game, like the check down as a check down back, running wheel routes and all that, because Jam has proven that he can do it, and Richard Young and everyone else has not proven it yet. Not saying they can't do it, they just haven't had the opportunities to prove themselves like Jam has.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. But I am excited to see what the running game's going to be like. All the same, like it's going to be really fun. To see Daniel Hill in the lineup, getting to see Richard Young, all those guys just coming in and just taking over the town. I mean, they're just going to play some smash mouth football against Florida State next week.
Oh man, did you hear about see the video of Thomas Castellano saying the hardest defense he'll face all season is his defense?
Oh Lord.
I know, right? I seen that and I was like, oh my goodness. Is he high or something? I mean, what lettuce is he smoking? I need some of that. I was like, man, I mean, I understand you saying that, or I understand you saying that in a locker room to hype up your players and everything, but coming out in front of the media where and putting yourself out there like that for millions of people to see you, and then trying to backtrack when you see Isaiah Horton at some camp, and then backtracking saying I didn't mean it that way, and then doubling down and saying that. I mean, you're just asking for a butt whooping,
Oh, great. Agreed.
Yeah. I'm excited for the season. I really think our offense and defense is going to take a huge step this season because with Milrow, how Milrow ran the offense, it held the offense back. With Ty, yeah, Ty can use his legs. He's not as explosive running the ball, but he don't have to be. He can use it to scramble out of a pocket and make throws on the run. And spread it across the field. And open up plays that necessarily might not be there in the pocket.
All righty, Zachary. Anything else you got for us tonight?
No, sir, Jackson.
All right, man.
All
Well,
right.
we will definitely be seeing. Oh, crud! I misspelled the last name on the doggone calling cue. Yikes! I thought I pressed an I, but I swear my eyes are playing tricks on me sometimes.
Yep. It's okay.
Well,
All
all
right.
right, Zachary. Thank you for calling in, good buddy, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll, good buddy. And we've got our next caller, Alabama Richie, on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, not too bad. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Just getting some good laughs out of a certain caller that was calling in before Zachary.
Who called? Was it Caden?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Caden. I didn't listen to what he had to say last week because I know he called in after me, but I hope it was we suck, we're horrible, Ohio State's going to repeat. I wonder if that's what he had to say because,
Oh no, this time he was barking like a dog at Godfather of the SEC.
oh, what?
Tell me he wasn't scared.
Uh, I decided not to wear. I started doing what McCarron does and switching up the hats. And I got my fish cap on tonight instead of my Bama cap. But I just wanted to say that, old Caden, don't come at my guy, Godfather, because Godfather is a diehard Bama fan. And you don't want to do my guy Godfather like that. He's a solid dude. But I will say that it's going to be an interesting season to see what happens with the Jamari and Miller injury. I know he separated the collarbone, so he didn't have to have surgery. But I think that now it's a chance for our three running backs, Richard Young, Daniel Hill, and Dre Washington, the Louisiana transfer, to really show that they can be that guy in Jamarian's absence. One thing that Zach touched on when he called him before was, the way that Milrow ran the system. It was based on, they knew when they brought him in to Bama that he was a running quarterback and he was a scheme quarterback. Simpson's not that guy. So you're definitely going to have a chance to see a true run game this year versus last year. So excited to see that. I will say that, it's just definitely a different Bama team that you're going to see. I was doing my homework for the SEC show, and guy called in and he said to us, he took a mic and he said, "Don't you think that if DeBoer has a bad season, he'll be on the hot seat?" And I said, "DeBoer's not on any hot seat. Just because DeBoer, if he has another season where he loses to the same teams he lost to last year and doesn't progress, then you'll have major question marks. Like another loss to Vandy or another loss to Oklahoma, then you'll have questions. But the difference is you have a different Tennessee team. Joey Aguilar's the starting quarterback. You don't have Nico. Vanderbilt and Pavia is going to be figured out. Not saying Vanderbilt's terrible. They're a marked improvement. But now the pressure's on Pavia because now all the guys that were at our program last year, like Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, I'm trying to think of who else. Dre Kirkpatrick, who comes in. The guys that saw the film on Pavia last season are going to figure out, they know what he can do already. So he's got a couple moves and they'll figure it out. Tennessee, you have a different quarterback. Joey Aguilar can play. Never thought he was terrible, but everybody still barks Nico. They still chirp Nico. It's like the thing that yeah, exactly. So you made a great point, Zach. So you never saw a true run game last year because Milrow was the running back. Henceforth, why Justice Haynes transferred to Michigan. Justice Haynes transferred because he didn't think that Bama was building a run game. And from the last few running backs we brought into the NFL, and I'm going to age some folks a little bit, but Derrick Henry, TJ Yeldon, who just recently was arrested. So I hope he gets that cleared up and doesn't get in any more serious trouble. But Yeldon was recently arrested. But he saw stints in the NFL. Derrick Henry, Sean Alexander, Jameer Gibbs, the Georgia Tech transfer in. We haven't really had a true run game since Jameer Gibbs because that was Saban's final season to where now DeBoer, he was using the run game a little bit, but it wasn't like we saw in the past with Coach Saban. And that's something that's going to have to improve because if we would, to me, if we would have established a true run game, Zach, we would have been in a lot better shape last year. I wouldn't say now I don't always count the Tennessee game as a win every year because the series has split. So I kind of was okay. I was not happy we lost to Tennessee. Don't take it like that, but I'm just saying that it didn't hurt compared to Vanderbilt or Oklahoma, just because you always schedule Vanderbilt on your homecoming or your senior days. And now you have to be careful doing that because Vanderbilt's no sneeze anymore. So, again, I think that now that you have a true run game, you don't have to really worry about, is it going to be a question mark? Now, would I have liked to see Justice Haynes back in a crimson jersey? Sure. He would have been running back number one, obviously. But now you get you get your guys Jam Miller, Richard Young, and a lot of folks need to understand that Richard Young's got a lot to prove. Last I saw Richard Young was at the spring game, DeBoer's first year. I went to the spring game just to support DeBoer and show him that the fans are around him. I still think DeBoer is a talented head coach. I like his demeanor. I like how he addresses the media. I like how he's assessed the team. Him and Grubb are going to be a force to be reckoned with this year because they've had success as a duo everywhere they went. Now, I'm not going to ever take away from Nick Sheridan, but Nick Sheridan is in a great role as the what is he, our co-offensive coordinator. So he's not going to be the main guy, but he's definitely going to be there to get love. And I loved what Coach Saban said. He said, "This is the Boars team." So I can give any knowledge or any background I can, but I'm not the main figure anymore. So the Boars going to run this system how it is. He's more equipped to this younger NIL kind of deal, as to where Saban, the whole time he was a head coach, never really had to worry about, I'm going to put this in the best way I know. Like, he never had to worry about an NIL structure till his final season, where we lose to Michigan and people were asking him, so what am I going to be paid to come back? It's like, you want to make it to the NFL and be coached, or do you want to chirp about a deal? What's it going to be? So I think if the board can get that under control, we'll be in much better shape. That's one of the things I did homework on for the show tonight. And then I was going to ask, one thing I will, before I ask this question, touch on Ohio State. I said it last week. Zach, you never heard this take. Ohio State is a very talented team. I have a lot of respect for Julian Saying. He's a talented quarterback. Lincoln is a good quarterback, and so is Tavian. Apologize if I said his name wrong. My biggest question mark is going to be losing Chip Kelly and Jim Knowles. I'm really fans of those two guys. I have a lot of respect for Knowles, a lot of respect for Kelly. My question mark is going to be, how do you get Brian, I'm trying to remember his name. How do you get Matt Patricia, and how do you get your offensive coordinator and Brian, I can't even think, I'm butchering his name. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Those guys to buy into what Ryan Day does, because this is going to be a huge test week 1 versus Texas. I'm not jumping out of my seat for Texas yet, because Arch Manning hasn't sniffed a season, but I
Brian
hope.
Hartline.
Yeah, Brian Hartline, that's right. So he's had success before. Can he get the job done again? We'll just have to wait and see. But that's my take on that you brought up, Zach. Otherwise, the Crimson Tide are rolling. We're rolling like a tire. Should be in great shape. Gonna be wet weather in Tallahassee, so they say. But my question is this, Jackson, do you think that we figure out Diego's scheme this year? Do you think a lot of teams figure out the Diego Pavia scheme?
Oh, yeah. We've got it figured out. He's not getting past Alabama again.
Yeah, for sure. I just was curious about that, because I know people were saying this is the better quarterback they've had in a long time. Someone brought up Jordan Rodgers, and I said, well, yeah, Jordan Rodgers played, but like, what, he wasn't a, compared to his brother, that Aaron, he was okay. He wasn't great. Diego Pavia's got all the room to make it as a backup quarterback in the NFL to somebody. Like, he reminds me of another Stetson Bennett, where you are good with your feet, but your arm talent is, now we've seen splashes. Like, I was very impressed in a couple preseason games with Stetson Bennett, but again, I just wonder if Diego Pavia is one of those guys that will be able to get it together, or does he get figured out? Because I don't know if they're going to have the same season as they had last year. So that's the only thing that I really worry about, is what kind of a scheme does Vanderbilt bring versus last year, because we can't afford to lose to Vanderbilt again. Otherwise, I think we're going to be in better shape than last year. And this is one of the most talented Bama teams we've had in a long time, since the 2020 team.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what's going to happen throughout the season, because like, it's starting soon. Starting soon, folks.
Yeah,
Oh
next
my
week.
God, there we go. And we have another $5 super chat from Caden the Diesel Fruit where he says, Caden, roll, Buckeyes roll, and Ohio State are going to punish everyone, leaving them in a pile of their own blood. Okay then, but we appreciate the $5 super chat contribution, good buddy. And I don't know if anybody's gonna be piling anybody in their own blood. He's like, oh, it's gonna be that bad, but oh well.
Caden, I will give it to you. You do get a dub. You get an A in my book because you donate to the boys. So thank you very much. Where is Jeffrey okay this week, or is he still at work?
Oh, he's sick. He's sick tonight. He had a stomach virus and he's had a fever, so that's why he's not here. That's why I'm doing the call-in show solo tonight.
I understand. I'm under the weather myself a little bit, but the show must go on. You can't. I don't miss. I don't miss calling in. So I
That is why we've got. That's why we've got the YouTube memberships, and this is gonna be the cure to. This is gonna be. Here we go. There it is. YouTube memberships tier. Come on. This internet, it's always messing around.
understand.
Oh man, cannot wait to get back in the office. That'd be fun.
Absolutely. How
There we
long until
go.
you get back in the office?
Should be like next week or so.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I will say this, Caden. I have a lot of respect for the Buckeyes. You had a great season last year. You won the chip for a reason. Best team. You got the best receiver. Next is Ryan Williams. But I will say that there's question marks at the coordinator position. Otherwise, you guys are going to be a good team. Winning it all, I don't know. I'm always nice to teams because that's what I do for a living outside of my main job. I cover all teams. So you'll get the best out of me. You're not going to get, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You'll get the truth, whether you like it or not. Um, so that's my thing. I think that between Ryan Williams and Lenora Sellers, those will be SEC players of the year to me. Otherwise, I think we're in great shape, great shape. Last nugget I'll leave before I have to jump off is Florida, I never have touched on this, but for anybody that calls in that's a Florida fan, Florida, your coach is not your problem. You were trying to figure out to me who your quarterback was. They tried so hard to make Graham Mertz your starting quarterback, and it didn't work. So I touched on this on our SEC show that we do on Tuesdays, SEC Now. I said to people we preview of who's in the hot seat and who's not, and I say we're in great shape. The tide's going to roll, but the Gators were one of the teams we covered. Florida is not. People think Napier's going to be in the hot seat this year. Yes, they put up his buyout money, but they aren't going to throw it out just yet because they have a lot of faith in DJ Lagway. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Florida does this year. They have one of the best offenses in the country. I mean, in terms of a line, I think that DJ is a marked improvement if he can stay healthy. I think all you have to do is worry about DJ. There's no other quarterback to compete with you. I think that he's safe. So again, as a preview to the SEC show next week, we're going to break down the schedule of Week 1 games and who's in desperate mode to get the Week 1 win and who can afford to lose the first week before the pressure's on. And go from there. But other than that, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you guys next week.
See you soon, Richie. Stay safe, stay cool, stay away from that Bama heat. All righty, man. And we got next caller. We got Darrell MVP. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How about you, Jackson?
I'm doing all right. Just getting things rocking and rolling on a Thursday night.
That's good. I guess you've seen that the SEC is moving to 9 conference games.
Yep.
What's your thoughts about that? I like it personally.
I'm not too crazy about it, but because it's just gonna get rid of the bigger non-con games. But that's just me.
But
But
you got to still play one non-conference Power 4 opponent every year.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because I saw that from Greg Sankey where SEC teams have to play at least one Power Four team, be it from the ACC, Big 12, Big 10, or Notre Dame.
Right. I think it's good for the sport that they're doing this. I think it's nice that, as fans, you get to see everyone else every 2 years and then everyone home and away within a 4 year period. And, you still keep your Auburn, Alabama, your Tennessee, Alabama matchups going forward. I just wish the 3 is a flat 3, which means if you're Mississippi State, who doesn't have 3 rivals, you're going to have 3 rivals. And I wish there was a flexing model to it, to where you play 2 and then rotate the other 7 or something like that, or 1 and 8 or 0, because some teams have none, some teams have 1, some teams have 2. It's similar to what the Big Ten does.
Yeah, I think they'll just do what the Big Ten's doing, like you say. Like kind of like how Iowa has Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Nebraska on their schedule annually. And Ohio State's like, we just want to play Michigan every year. We don't care about anybody else. Indiana plays Purdue every year, and the rest, they don't care. Illinois, Northwestern, they play each other every year. Or like USC, UCLA, they just play each other every year. I don't think USC really cares about having Oregon and Washington on an annual basis. So I think it ought to be something like that with the SEC, because like Alabama should be able to play Auburn, Tennessee every year. Just kind of have that third SEC team be whatever, like Mississippi State. That way you got an easy one every year.
Right.
And
I don't know if they're balancing for performance or geography or what they're balancing it for some of them, because if you're Auburn, you're basically screwed, because you're gonna have to play probably Georgia, Alabama, and then Tennessee. I'm guessing that's probably going to be their 3. That's tough for them. But sorry.
I think that third opponent should be Florida for Auburn.
Yeah, Florida could work. It depends also on every other team, because you mess with one, you mess with, there's a butterfly effect that goes into it. But some of these games are just going to be underwhelming. Like, who's Missouri going to play? Who's Kentucky going to play? Who's well, some of these teams just have nobody, like literally nobody. So it's going to be interesting. I
wonder what they're going to do for South Carolina, because I know Georgia should be their annual opponent, but other than that, I really don't care, honestly.
Right.
Just be like, just have whoever you want.
Right. I know, Jackson. I did some research. I went forward into the future. 2030 for Georgia. They play Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia Tech currently in non-conference play.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we got our buddy Sean Garner joining us. Absolutely, you can join. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. Can you give me just 1 second here? Hold on.
There we go. Long time no see.
Yeah. So, Jackson, how do you think Georgia would do? Do you think they're going to drop in Ohio State or Clemson in 2030? Because for them playing both of them and an SEC schedule, my gosh, they could go 8-4, and they probably will be in the playoffs.
How do you keep that schedule? That's just ridiculous. And who knows? That might be a year they draw Alabama, LSU, and I don't know. They might have a brutal. They have no control over their conference schedule, so who knows how that's going to be? It could be like Oklahoma's schedule last year.
Yeah, and this year, everybody plays the same schedule in the SEC this year, which I hate that.
Where's that?
Everyone in the SEC plays the exact same schedule as they did last year. It's just flipped home and away. So you still don't see anybody different. It's like the SEC was for the last 15 or 20 years, except worse. It's just infinitely worse what they've did these last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, especially because there can be like just a massive discrepancy. Like Texas has a super easy conference schedule. Oklahoma has a super hard one. Yeah. And then you get to enjoy 2 years of potentially a really, really soft conference schedule, or be punished with 2 years of a slaughterhouse.
Right. I think today was a massive W for the SEC. I think, the SEC metaphorically planted their flag in center field. I'm sure you're familiar with that, Sean.
No. We don't allow any planting of flags. Okay. We defend our turf there.
That's fair.
We defend the middle of the field. The end zone's not as much, but
that's true. What the SEC was always wanting was they wanted strength of schedule and strength of record to take into account. I don't think it's a coincidence. Literally yesterday, the committee announced we're changing it to where if you beat higher quality opponents, you'll be more rewarded. If you lose to lower quality opponents, you'll be punished. I don't think it's a coincidence that all happens, and then literally the next day the SEC changes it. Especially Greg Sankey saying,
"Hey, Darrell, that's real fascinating to comment. I definitely want to discuss that, but there was like a couple points you made at the beginning of your conversation with Jackson. I did kind of want to touch on real quick, give my thoughts on. Okay, so I mean, first off, hats off to the SEC. Said that you had to it had to be kind of a negotiated hostage situation to get you to nine games, but it's great that they're at 9 games, and the additional stipulation of having a Power 4 game out of conference, like that is really, really good in theory. I think in practice you might have some complications with it.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for one thing, there's about 60. There might be some years where it's difficult. Some teams in these other conferences don't want to play anybody out of conference. These schedules are also set oftentimes years in advance. So it might not. There might be a few programs here and there that actually have trouble scheduling an additional out of conference Power 4 team. Additionally, teams pull out of games. Teams decide not to play them, and then sometimes I forget. I don't remember exactly why they're playing Grambling, but it was because somebody pulled out this year. And I remember that they played Florida A&M about a decade ago because Vanderbilt pulled out of that game. Ohio State and Washington had to cancel their series last year, so Ohio State did not have a Power 4 conference. Like things arise in these scheduling, and I mean, I do appreciate the effort. I do like the fact that we're going to have more competitive out of conference games in the SEC, but I mean, there are extenuating circumstances that will complicate it, guaranteed.
Yeah, I would have to see. I think the main reason they're doing it is because a quarter of the SEC is locked into a 10th one, no matter what, which should make it easier. Yes. So you can ignore a 10th of it. I don't know what you're going to do with the schools that don't have it locked in. I think a lot of them, like Alabama, are locked in with Ohio State going forward. I don't see that. They're not changing conference, for example. So I think some of them are locked in. I think for some of these lower schools, I hate to say it in a derogatory way, but you might have to do what you do with the G5 and FCS programs, and you might have to pay some of these lower classification P4 schools a little bit of money and give them some stipulations to play on the road.
They can't all play Wake Forest here, so it's there's only so many of them.
There's a conference called the Big 12 that's full of them.
Well, gentlemen, before we get to that next point, we want to make sure we honor Caden the Diesel Freak's super chat for tonight, the $5 super chat, where he says, Jackson, it's going to be that bad, and I promise you Ohio State will be leaving dead bodies everywhere piled in their own blood.
Given what happened with a former Buckeye about a month or so ago, that's maybe not be the best timing for that analogy.
Yeah, but I will say, though, we appreciate the $5 super chat contribution. We appreciate it very much, good buddy. And, you're talking about Kurt Barton. Yikes.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. It's like, good grief.
Yeah, that
He's
whole
got
thing.
some. He's
Yeah.
he's got some things he needs to work out.
Yeah. The hammer swung back, huh? On that one.
That whole thing's a joke, by the way. I'm not going to recognize Michigan as the 2023 national champion because they cheated. So when somebody asks me, I'll say I don't know. I think it'd be funny if Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, all these teams that had to play Michigan or was impeded by Michigan, I think they should all claim it because you play a cheater. So, you got intentionally delayed into winning something. I don't know if you've ever played, Sean, if you play any games or any video games or any board games out there.
Well,
It's hard to win against cheaters.
I've been on the wrong end of some cheating scandals. I play pretty serious online professional online poker there, and yeah, there's no shortage of cheating that goes on there. So
I don't do this. I'm sure what doesn't happen though is they say, listen, we're going to give him his title, his World Series of Poker ring, but we're going to fine him an exorbitant amount of money, and he's able to collect his winnings. He's able to keep those winnings from those tournaments.
Okay, and I trust me, I'm not bitter over the outcome of the resolution. I literally, I thought the whole story, the whole saga was very entertaining. You can never predict what the NCAA is going to do, but there was just two little aspects of the punishment that just had my head like on planet Mars when I saw them. First, they still let Sharon Moore dictate which games he's going to be suspended for. They defer us a game suspension. So I guess now he's not going to get to enjoy Oktoberfest and his later hosing out there against Western Michigan. So I felt like that was like the bare minimum. Nope, it's 3 games. It's games 1, 2, and 3 this year. Deal with it. That seems like that's just bare minimum. The second part, and this is a far more serious stipulation. In their report, they said one time that their penalties merited, that they were worthy of a multi-year postseason ban. And they even cited a statute in there that said they were required to give them at least a year postseason ban. They said they even used that word, required. What are you opening yourself up to here? You're saying, I mean, we are not following our own guidelines. Our words, our punishment, like they just mean whatever we determine them to mean.
Now, Sean, if this was our Arizona State, UNL Monroe, somebody like that, we all know they would have been, right. They would have absolutely had the hammer dropped on them, and they would have been decimated for 5-10 years. It's because they're one of the 5-10 most important brands in all the sport. That's the only reason they didn't really get away with it, but their punishment was as light as it was.
Honestly, I couldn't quit laughing at the hammer, especially when I heard like John on the Michigan channel talking about the Fisher Price hammer, because it's like I was like, because like, oh, Michigan fans are watching Michigan at the Voice College Football, nice. Like when I heard that, I was like, oh, Fisher Price hammer, it's too funny. Like I wonder if we're gonna see like a lot of Michigan people just buy like Fisher Price hammers. They're like, all the cashiers are at Toys R Us or something.
Imagine
I'll tell you what, if they're not giving out 100,000 Fisher Price hammers at the Ohio State game this year, the SID, the PR people for the athletic department need to be fired. And if by some miracle Michigan pulls off a 5th win in a row this year, have them all just litter the field with 100,000 Fisher Price hammers.
Oh God!
Yeah, I don't.
You have to do that, right? You have to.
Yeah, I don't get why people are proud that they cheated and they like. I don't get it. Yeah, I cheated, and yeah, I'm not proud of. We didn't cheat, but yeah, I'm proud of it. It all makes no logical sense.
They're celebrating a guy who threw his phone into a pond.
Yeah, I mean that's what all innocent people do. You know, when I'm innocent, I just go to the bottom of a lake and I just put my phone at the bottom of it. You know, I wouldn't want to think people thought I was doing something illegal here.
Oh no. I'm not going to give you my phone, which has absolutely nothing incriminating on it at all. So I mean, but you know what?
God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man.
What was
Well, we
thinking
went a
now?
little off the rails on Ohio State, Michigan for a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. That's enough of that. I wanted that. Wanted to get a couple jabs in here.
No,
With
it's all good. What about the SEC going to 9 games? I see the Big Ten people acting, celebrating like they're the ones control. You know, they've got all the cards. They're the ones controlling the levers of power here. You know, they're just letting the SEC have their will bent because, oh my gosh, Alabama's going to have to play Kentucky instead of Southwestern Dakota State University. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is just going to alter the landscape of college football. I mean,
well, obviously, it had to have been part of the deal that they were making with. It seems to me like this makes it imminent. We're going to 16 teams probably next year.
yeah, I know. I
If
hope
not
it's
the year
only
after.
16 instead of the 28. Your conference needs to get off that 28 stuff, okay?
Well,
You need to get your people in check.
our commissioner likes to think out loud. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He needs to have more intelligent thoughts if he's going to do that. No, we don't need to see Army play Alabama in the playoffs last year. We don't need to see that. Nobody was clamoring, hey, I need to see Baylor play Ohio State. I don't know which one's the two of the better team of those two.
No, well, the next, I mean, the next thing about this is the bowls now, as meaningless as they see. I was concerned with the 12-team playoffs that the bowl season was just going to be such a joke, so meaningless, and it actually wasn't this year. It was actually kind of fun and entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few games where.
Oh yeah, there always are.
Yeah, I know.
There always are some turds in every bowl season, but. I mean, like you make it 28 teams. Well, one, I mean, you make it 28 teams, so you have 4 buys. Why not just go to 32 at that point? I mean, no, that's a hard line cutoff. We cannot have the 29th best team in the country playing for a title. That's ridiculous.
I know.
I mean, but I mean, if all of the top 28 teams are playing, like, what bowl games are there left? And then, like, what? I don't know.
I was telling Jackson yesterday, it's mathematically possible for a team to not make a bowl game, but be guaranteed a spot into the college football playoff. You lose all 3 of your non-conference games.
Yeah.
You go 5-4 in the Big Ten, and you're in. I know that's probably never going to happen, but the fact it's mathematically possible.
Yeah. If you beat like Ohio State and Oregon and Penn State.
No. It's the 2018 model isn't straight seeding, Charlotte. It's the 7 best Big Ten team.
Oh yeah, by record, yeah, that's right.
So if you're 5-4, there's no argument. You're guaranteed in. So Michigan could have been 5-7 last year, and they would have been guaranteed in. And nobody could have done anything about it. And it's like, this is the system we're going to die on?
And you realize you would only need to expand the playoff out like basically 2 more rounds, and then you're including every single team in the country at that point. So why not just have that? Just everybody. We'll play a full season that means nothing, and then we'll have a 130 whatever team battle royale.
Yeah, I like the regular season format where you have these games in which you play for seeding at the end of the year, but we exclude most of the teams. But you can be in if you do well enough and you win, like, let's say 11 games, because you've proven over the course of the season you're in. Is this making sense, or should we just have everything be a single elimination game? Be like a massive survival game, like the Hunger Games. Sorry, you lost in week 2, you're out. Your season's done. Your team's not allowed to play.
Yeah. And I mean, like, why even have a season now at this point? We're not just have, like, one game every 3 weeks where we're all, and just have, like, we'll start in August. We'll go to, like, February. We'll space it out so we can make sure it's been getting absolutely ridiculous. I think 12 is the right number, but for, like, practicality, if you don't like, I mean, if there are issues with awarding buys, 16's fine. Anything beyond that is just anathema to what the game is. It's not what this is for.
Like, I'm just so disappointed with this sports going, man. We're going to go to 32. I'm just feeling in my bones. Next year, we're going to be going to 32.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not. This is why I tried warning everybody. I said when we go to 4, the slope is slippery on this ride. People aren't going to get off. I heard College Football Mafia, Nathan Brown, I don't know, he's a good guy, shout him out, he's arguing yesterday for a 64-team playoff. Just have everybody in the P4 and in the club.
Wait, how many? And then if you get that, how many games are we going to ask these kids to play?
I did the math. It'd be 18, I think. It'd be 18.
Yeah, you play 13-game regular. No, you would have 19 at 60.
No, conference championship games.
No conference championship. Okay.
We don't need Your commissioner has decided that those games are irrelevant. Okay? We don't want to see Oregon, Penn State. We want to see Baylor, Ohio State instead, okay? Shame on us for thinking we wanted to see number 3 play number 1. We're stupid.
I mean, don't you feel deprived that you didn't get to see Miami of Ohio last year prove its mettle in a college football playoff run?
I know.
I mean, I don't know how the Buckeyes can call themselves champions when Miami of Ohio didn't get their rightful shot.
I know. We should just invite every single conference championship. We don't know that the MAC's champion isn't better than Ohio State. We don't know that for sure.
No, of course not.
Well, all right, gentlemen. Anything else you got tonight?
For real?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we got games coming up in like a day or two, and that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, shoot.
Fine.
It's not. We've got a good one. Have we ever had a week 0 ranked matchup? Ever?
Oh, I'm sure. It's going to take a while to look for it.
Well, I mean, I can't think of. I mean, the week 0 thing's only been around for like 7 years or so.
This is probably the best one since the Miami, Florida one. You remember that one?
Oh
Miami,
my God.
Miami played Florida in week 0.
Yeah,
why don't I?
It was in Orlando, Florida. It was on ESPN, and it was the same day Andrew Luck retired from the NFL. August 24th, 2019.
That was a good game. That was probably the most anticipated one since this one. And this one's the most important one because in the Big 12, it's 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
And with these level teams, so I think this is the most important game in terms of the entirety of college football for like the first month. And I don't think it's even close because that conference is a crapshoot. It's not like Ohio State's playing Purdue because we know Ohio State's going to beat Purdue because Purdue's Purdue. Whereas anybody can win any game in this league. So,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now, and Jackson, all this stuff. When is the last game scheduled for Iowa State, Kansas State? Do you know?
Let's see.
I think 2027 is when it ends.
Okay, yeah. So they're not. Yeah, they're not they're not protected rivalries somehow.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, because I remember looking at it. They're not It's not a protected rivalry. Like that's so weird, though.
No,
Yeah.
but in the SEC, we're going to get like Missouri, South Carolina. Probably is going to be a protected game or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have some weird matchups where they make no logical sense because regionality. I guess Kentucky's 3 is gonna be Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. I guess that's gonna be 3. Is anybody excited for any of those 3? I'm not.
Well, I mean, does Kentucky have a rival outside of Louisville? Really, they don't have an in-conference rival, really, do they?
Tennessee, we like to think is rivals because they're a border state and state school, but not really, you know.
Didn't they beat you like 30 some years straight or something?
No, that
Or
was Florida.
Yeah.
20. That was 27
Nobody beats Kentucky
years.
32 years in a row. Okay, nobody does it. 31 we're fine. 32 is the magic number.
Yeah. Don't go running that 32 leg parlay against Kentucky. It's not going to pay out.
Oh man, it was actually a 26 game losing streak that Kentucky ended in 2011.
Against Tennessee, right?
It's 2018. Kentucky beat Florida.
I was talking about Tennessee.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was. I knew it was a long run against Tennessee, but Tennessee dropped down to Kentucky's level.
No, even when Tennessee's at the basement, we still lose to them. Like they got some voodoo magic, some X. You know this. It's an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
The opponent can be absolute garbage, but you just can't beat them because their helmet logo scares you. It's like kryptonite to Superman. You just cower in fear over it. So it is what it is.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, I guess we'll be getting off here in just a little bit. We'll be ready to rock
it was good seeing you, Sean. I wish I saw you more in the main chat. I know.
Yeah, I mean, like the shows are all done at times that I just can't ever join. So busy life. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. It's always good seeing you two, man.
Thanks for having us on.
Jackson.
Always Sean and always Darrell. And then we'll
and good to see you in a room with some light here.
Well, I think there's going to be some more light. That's for sure. It's like the light's not getting me. That I can promise you.
Awesome. Hey, good luck opening weekend, Jackson. Take care.
See you, man. All righty. And before we wrap this show up, unless anybody else wants to call, come on in. You want to give a call? And if you can't, that's okay. We'll do it again next week. No worries. And this time, I believe Jeffrey will be feeling better by that time. He will be recovered and back in black, recovered from that stomach virus. But of course, you tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Coach Smith, Jeffrey, and I are creating on Alabama at the Voice College Football Monday nights, Tuesday nights, and Thursday nights on the call-in show. And, of course, we've got the post-game show coming your way after every game. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, man. And, of course, Alabama with the Voice College Football is 27 subs away from the magic number 2,900. We'd love to get to 2,900 subs. Matter of fact, we'd love to get to 3,000 subs. We're only 127 subs away from the magic number 3,000. We'd love to get there, definitely, before we get to playing Georgia. No doubt about that. And, of course, you can give Jeffrey a follow at Only Talk Sports on @Twitter and on YouTube. And you can give me a follow on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube and on Jackson BOCFB on @Twitter and on Instagram and Threads Jackson Johnson 543908. And of course, you can check out Alabama at the Voice College Football at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and a review as you listen to Alabama at the Voice College Football. And with that being said, we wish y'all a happy Thursday night And we wish you all happy weekend, everybody. And roll tide.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.